Jim Gamble.
Here.
Laura Pack.
Here.
Andrea Dixon. Bonnie Porter.
Here.
Richard Mullins.
Here.
Jerry Daniel.
Here.
Approval of the minutes of the regular scheduled meeting. Please look over your minutes from September 21st. When you've had time to review, I'll accept the motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made. Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Like sign. Financial reports and payment of bills. Look at those, please. Anything stand out as being unusual on there? It's always a good sign when you see a lot more deposits than there is payments.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second.
Motion by Bonnie, seconded by Laura to approve. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Russell, are you awake?
I'm awake.
Okay,
Apparently,
tell us some good things.
spending down, revenues up. How's that?
That sounds good.
Yeah, we've been concentrating a lot on our horses this month too, trying to get him ready for the ride. We've actually already got him up to about 6.5, 7 miles. So he's doing real well. He's gonna be ready for it.
Okay, good.
It's gonna be a little cool too, so that'll help him. Basically that's what we've been doing. We've had some tour groups come in, and this month is actually one of the busiest Octobers I think that we've had. Our revenue's up. I think I checked it earlier, it was up by like $2,000. So that's pretty good. I think last year what we had, and which now my records may show different than Lynette's because things goes in different times. But I think last October what we had, not counting the haunted trail, was like $3,700. Right now we're up to $5,800. You know, and that's doing pretty good. And we've still got, about 12 more days to go in this month. So it should get up further where we're about $2,500 above last October. So hopefully, it can keep building like that.
Now, always let us know when a tour group's coming.
We need to be notified, and I want a list of everybody that you've got scheduled, and also
I
because
think this is one that Prestonbury Tourism is bringing.
it doesn't, I don't care who's doing it.
This is the
We
last
just want
one for this
No,
year.
prior to. How did your photography thing go?
It went real well.
Was that open to the public?
No, what do you mean open to the public? The farm's always open.
No, your photographer that came in?
Now what they do, they just come in and take pictures of the farm. They take all kinds of photographs of the farm, is what they do when they come in like that. They just go to different places to photograph them.
Oh, okay.
The public could register to be a part of that event.
They can.
As
Well,
far
next
as
time,
I'm
kind of let us
concerned.
know before it's 7 o'clock at night.
Anything else, Russell?
That's about it. This one's pretty short. Now I'm also fixing up a thing on all the repairs and things like that we're going to be doing for the winter. And just since I have that ready to go, I'll give it to Lynette. She can email it to everybody. That way you know what we're doing this winter and stuff.
We started working on the Christmas. Yeah.
Well, actually, no, we haven't started, but we just talked about it.
Okay.
We're get things ready. We're going to get together on that and see what we can do for Christmas out there too.
Okay. Any further business? Not, do I hear a motion to adjourn the Historical Association meeting?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Richard, and second. Second by Bonnie. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We got another minute to wait before we start at 4:40.
4:44 at
You can have another
What
sandwich.
was that in
Casey.
Huntington? What was that in Huntington? It was 440.
44th Avenue.
444th Avenue, but who was it? What business?
With a car dealership back there.
Car dealership, 444th Avenue. I remember that on.
Oh, the Miller thing there?
That's Miller.
No. Hello? Yes. Out here in a tourism meeting right now.
Pick it up the shirts tomorrow.
Okay. I'll try to read out here. Be about an hour. Okay. Okay. That's even better. Okay. I was thinking.
Okay, Paintsville Tourism Commission regularly scheduled meeting, Monday, October 19th, 4:40 p.m. Meeting will come to order. Lynette, roll call please.
Jim Gamble,
Here.
Laura Pack,
Here.
Andrea Dixon, Bonnie Porter,
Here.
Richard Mullins,
Here.
Jerry Daniel.
Here.
Okay. Look over your minutes of the September 21st meeting. See if there's any corrections or additions.
What's this turf care?
That was the mowing of the grass
I
for
thought
1
we said-
month, and they mowed it 3 times a month because they reduced it down to every 10 days. And then they had also applied like weed killer around like all the buildings and the fence lines.
I thought we said to stop that.
I'm not sure though.
We discussed it with them picking up, with Russell and them picking that up, so we will.
I can contact Brian and let him know.
No more.
Yeah. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
That motion.
Made by Bonnie, second. Don't everybody speak up at once.
I'm taking it too.
Seconded by Laura. Is there any corrections or additions you see in there? Not. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Please look over your financial reports.
What's this $459 for turf care? You've got one for $360 and then one for $459.
Well, the mowing is $90 each time, and for 3 times, that's
Okay, one check
$270.
was written on 9/23 and one check was written on
I can pull the invoices if you would like to see them.
9/8.
I can pull the invoices.
That's almost $800.
Well, that's 4 mowings and on the 8th,
Mhm.
so that would have been for August, I'm assuming.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
For, it says turf care repairs and maintenance, $459 on your second page.
For lawn services.
Can you pull them, honey? Just
You want me to go get them right now?
Sure.
Okay, I sure can.
I want that job.
Who is turf care?
Brian Bosch.
Mhm.
days later, isn't it?
Well, I know we said not to do that.
I can't remember what days it's on.
No, I can't either. I know we talked about it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
What offices was Rodney Williams? Huh? What offices is Rodney Williams? Who's Rodney Williams? Thank you, sweetheart.
Assume that's who they have to go to the museum and office cleaning. Is there any more questions on that? Pass that around and look at it. Not do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it on the one over. Old business, Pumpkin House. Laura, Bonnie, you wanna report on that?
Pumpkin House for inaugural event was a success.
Yay. And he
all the
had an
babies-
opportunity to drop by at night.
The babies had a wonderful time. Had a lot of participation from kids all over the county, not just city kids. The Meade Memorial kids. That's all the future artists of the world are going to Meade Memorial because they are some talented youngins. It was a great success, and people are already talking about next year. What are we going to do next year? What's going to happen next year? So I feel like it was this year was a lot of work, Gwen and Bonnie.
Yeah, I'm almost minus one good finger.
I almost cut Bonnie's finger off with the sawzall, but that's okay. See, Susan fell off the steps, nearly broke her leg.
Yeah.
But it all
all
worked
good.
out. It all worked out,
Yeah.
and it was a big success, and the kids loved it. And the community, we've had an enormous amount of very positive response from the community. People were very, very happy to have that to do. The little
Yeah.
girl that was a grand prize winner was absolutely beside herself.
She was so cute.
She's a little second grader, goes to Highland Elementary. A little gal named Maddie. So,
Yeah, there were more positive comments I heard on that than anything in a long time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was good.
I mean, we got lots of plans. I mean, they were already. I got this message. Why don't you all do Christmas trees? I said,
Yeah.
I said, well, actually, we talked about that.
Actually,
So-
it's
in the
plans.
works.
So, yeah, and we had several teachers that do crafts with their kids, wanting to know about coming to Stafford House to do that, and it's all been good. It's generated a lot of positive response, and I think next year it will double or triple in size. Well, I today had people from Knott County and Floyd County, different groups that want to participate next year. So it's gonna be a good thing. It's gonna be a real good
We'd
thing.
really like to make it a regional thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But for the first one, I think that
For the first
It's-
one, it went great
you
because
know.
nobody really knew what a pumpkin house was.
checkmate.
Yeah, you're all to be commended, because I know you put a lot of work in.
How long are you keeping the pumpkins up?
As long as they'll
As long as they'll
stay.
stay.
Okay. I wouldn't.
Were
have
they,
to.
did everybody follow through with the plans of the
No.
bleaching?
Not
No.
everybody did. Most
Most
of
did.
them did, but the ones that didn't, we had a
Okay.
couple when we were sawing the bottoms off,
They
just
fell
fell apart. But now the ones that played by the rules, they were fine.
They were just like they came out of the field.
Yeah. So
Does make a difference.
yeah, they were taking the schools there today. A lot of people, schools were going and they were
So
taking
word
them up
will
there.
spread,
So. And some people from Floyd County were coming. So yeah, it'll spread, and I think that we have an opportunity to make a difference.
and
That's what it's all about.
give the kids something else today.
Yeah.
The more they got to do, the less trouble they get into.
Plus the parents will come if you've got something that
The
kids
kids
are
are doing.
shining in,
Mhm.
and definitely attend.
Yeah, we had probably as much attendance Sunday when I drive by there and seeing people there that heard about it, that weren't there Saturday night.
We almost had a lot of wrecks.
Mhm.
Go back there.
And it was pretty when it was all lit up. That's when you could really see the artwork. When the lights went
I don't know if
on.
you've seen that Jesus.
Oh gosh, it's beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful.
When she brought it, I didn't know what
You
it
couldn't
was.
tell
You
what
couldn't
it
tell.
was.
She's-
I'm
Can
seeing
you put it up?
yeah, I
Even
got
up there
pictures.
with her.
I was there today. No one
But
found
it
her.
went really, really well. And next year I look for 2 to 3 times. I look for 3 times the participation next year. Pass it around, everybody take a peek. But that's just a sample of the artwork, and it was some pretty good stuff. Really creative. One of the first place winners in the grade school age group, the pumpkin, when it came through the door, when it was delivered, we all fell in love with it because it was just 2 little round eyes, this great big smile with braces.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the little gal who did it, this is her year. She got braces this year, so that's her thing. The braces is consuming her life right now. And well, it was just good fun. It was a lot of good fun. Can't wait till next year.
Oh, tell them about what we're going to do for Thanksgiving. Thankful Thanksgiving.
We've already got a mentor, instructor, guider to help do 2 children's events in between now and Christmas at the Stafford House. They're doing I'm So Thankful Thanksgiving Craft Day, where they're going to make different ornaments just to, commemorate the holiday. And then they're having a second craft day that they'll be doing me, Mama, and Papa, where they're going to be doing Christmas ornaments for their mamas and papas. So word gets around, and the kids will come and hopefully have fun, and once again, something to keep them occupied.
Okay, on the Stafford House, the survey has been completed. They're in the process of doing the appraisal, so we should be able to close on it within the next week to 10 days. Funding request, fishing swap meet.
I've been.
I
Have you
make a
been?
motion we
Yeah.
approve.
We
Yeah.
had a
But-
request.
This one right
This
here.
is the one that we, discussed last meeting.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second, all in favor say aye. Opposed? Yeah, that's the
Holly,
one
they
I'm
pack them in there.
Mm-hmm.
so
And they come in from all over the state.
Yeah, they do.
impressed. Well, like I said, that one year I counted 7 cars from 7 different states and 40 or 50 some counties. Now that's been 3 years ago, and it's grown since then. So it's a good one. It brings people in. Holiday happenings. What was the request on that?
The total was $2,000 requested.
Comments?
Oh, is that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they got $3,000 of stamp. Could you call Rita and ask her if they got a $3,000 Stafford House account?
Okay, I can.
Is there any motion on that?
When is it, November, second week?
13th, 14th. What's the
Did
one
we have a
on?
proposal? Like with the number of rooms and
This is all the information, Lauren.
I don't understand this first week of it says November 13th and 14th, but when I look at this, she says first week of November, 30 vendors, and then unknown. Then second week of November, 35 vendors. What are these?
I think, Bonnie, that because it says for the last 3 years of historical data, and one of that is one's last year, one's the year before.
So she has 38 vendors and they charge $35 per vendor.
I'm not
So
sure
what's
what
that?
that
$1,300, $300? Okay. Wow.
It's close then.
So what was the request for, what was the
2,000.
funding for what? Just for advertisement or for?
What does it show in attendance and rooms, that kind of thing? And I think people get confused with what some of our money's used for. Is to bring people into town.
Historically, they say 3 people at 2 nights motel.
3 people?
Do I hear a motion to approve? Seeing none. Holiday Classic Wrestling Tournament. What's that?
And that is also the one that we discussed last month.
I remember that one.
I'm in favor of that. I'm familiar with it. I've
Me
been.
too.
There are
It's a big
children from 4 and 5 states there. People stay in town for multiple days. They rent a lot of rooms. And they gotta eat what time they're here wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean,
How much was it for?
I think you said 2,200.
That's,
Motion
How many
made by
rooms did
Richard
they
to
get?
approve.
yeah, I'll make a motion.
second.
There's seconded. All in favor say aye.
When I worked at Toyota, a lot of people who had kids that wrestled, like in Harrison County and Woodford
Yeah.
County and around there, they all would wait for this tournament every year.
My
They were
cousin's
excited about it.
kids come here from the other side of Virginia over in the Tidewater region for wrestling. 600 to 700 wrestlers, family and friends, 40 teams, 20 rooms, one day 80 people, 20 rooms the next day 80 people. That's substantial.
Okay. New business, another funding request. You have that one on that?
I do. The 5th annual Run for Your Lives 5K is going to be held downtown, and it's going to be held October 24th, again at 6 o'clock, and the funding request is for $650.
Is that Salvation Army Day?
Yes.
Yeah, I read that.
Same thing on that. What kind of
They do have some,
participation?
they do, like they do have
Rooms.
I don't know.
It's more restaurants, so I'm saying.
It's more restaurants than it is.
Yeah.
Let me take a look. No lodging requested, but we're talking about 75 plus runners
Yeah.
and their families that'll be in town to eat and do this, that, and the other thing.
And that's a low
Well,
request.
as long as you use the same criteria to judge one or judge the rest.
75 plus that'll be in town eating.
I make a motion to approve.
Me too.
Motion made, seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay, something old business or old report about the Paddle Fest that was Saturday in conjunction with Prestonsburg. We had about 30 boats.
34 people's total I have signed in. Registered for themselves for
I
a
think
trail.
there's actually more
Were
than
you
that.
telling me
30
about
boats.
that little boy from Lexington?
Lexington.
Yeah, there are.
He said, tell my dad, I wanna come back. He said, he wanted to do it next month, and Jim told me that we weren't doing it, and he said, I wanna come back the next.
He's the one that said 8 from the time he left Prestonsburg till he left down here. He was having fun. But anyway, it's a good event. and good cooperation with Prestonsburg Tourism and the mayor. Travel South Showcase. Lynette, you want to give us the information on that, please?
Yeah, I had sent y'all an email about the showcase. It is coming up in March. It's going to be the 6th through the 9th of next year. And this is just a showcase where you actually get to sit down and meet tour bus operators face to face. You don't have very long with each tour bus operator, you know, maybe 5, maybe 7 minutes. But still, you do get to talk to them and, you know, sell your town. So I have a little bit of more information printed out about the schedule and prices
I
as
went to that
well.
one in Charleston. It's a great opportunity to one-on-one with those tour bus operators.
And I noticed there's different rates if you have regional groups
Well,
going
I
and
called for Tony today.
Did
but
you?
He still had that KTI thing. So I think maybe we'll talk to Tony
and maybe
maybe
do a
talk to
regional
Les and
booth.
Chris and do a regional.
When do we have to have a decision on that?
The early bird registration isn't until December.
Oh, okay.
So we're good.
Okay, we've got time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the way to do it. You can
Yeah.
talk to Lawrence County again.
Well, maybe we could do that thing like we're doing that 5
Mhm.
counties, Stephanie,
Mhm.
you know, where we're working for the Dolphins Trail stuff. Maybe we could,
That's a good opportunity. If you can't
Yeah.
draw them with one county's attractions, maybe you
Right,
can draw them
right.
with 3 or 4
Right.
county
Absolutely.
attractions.
Yeah.
I think it's a real good opportunity.
Well, we're doing that for the RV, right, or the boat show.
Right.
Yeah.
when it's
So
boat show.
it's in January.
Yeah.
January or February. It's
February normally, I think.
Yeah, it's early next year.
So
Okay.
defers the cost, and we're all there together to. So.
Okay, please review the Country Music Highway Museum financial reports and payment of bills.
What's Eagle Enterprise?
Went to some of the windows, didn't
What was the question? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
it? Eagle Enterprises.
Yeah, they clean the windows. They clean once a month.
Okay, yeah, I see them down there. I sure remember that.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Second? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay, Stephanie, what good words do you have to tell us?
Well, I wanted to show you all, this is a billboard that Lamar has done for us, and it's going to be in Richmond. It's going to also be the same billboard that we're using, and Leah just sent me, we haven't nailed down the contracts yet, but the locations that she's trying to work with, because she's not the sales rep, so she has to reach out to those particular sales reps, but Nashville around the Cumberland River, the Green River Trail, the Mammoth Cave area, and she asked if we would be interested in doing something in Louisville around just the Riverwalk area as well, to try to reach out and do the Dawkins billboard. So
That's good.
she has sent for sites for us to then make a decision on that. So I'm waiting on that, and this is posted in it's like a co-op, so it goes around to the different boards in Richmond. So I think that'll be a big positive for us. And let's see, I guess that, you know, I feel like that for the Paddle Fest, what we did, it was pretty effective as far as trying to market it. If we've got people from Lexington area coming in, and we have to make some decisions on, are we going to do that monthly? Are we going to do it every other month? What's going to really work for
We kind of discussed every
Yeah,
month.
we talked about doing it every month,
And
starting.
have a certain Saturday. Starting, would you say May or April?
May, probably.
May.
May, June, July.
Well, I know that they had
September,
just,
October, 6 months.
when we had talked about it with the city of Prestonsburg, they just said it's going to be dependent some on the levels of the water.
Mhm.
Some of that will be a factor. So do we want to be married to a certain time, or do we want
I
to
think you
work
probably
on?
do, Stephanie, because everything that I've been to, it's kind of like spring fling's always the first
First
Saturday
Saturday.
night. Christmas is always first Saturday. People get used to it. Like cruising's the third
And they
Saturday
they
of the
can
month.
plan accordingly.
They can plan it. Now, it may happen, like you say, there's nothing we can do about
Mm-hmm.
the river.
Mhm.
Sometimes they will let the dam out up there at Pikeville. to
And
where
like
it
that's
gets
what
out.
they that's why they delayed the paddle this time. was
So,
for the
but I
water.
think that once we decide that we probably just need to keep it that way, so that we can have that on our schedule, and that anybody that wants to come can see the exact dates.
And so, in saying that's what we want to do who's going to make the decision between the two cities? Because obviously it's cooperative.
Yeah,
It would
So,
just be a joint thing
it-
when we,
just do just pick one of the 2 Saturdays, second or third.
no, we don't do it the third, we got cruising.
Okay.
It's the second.
Mm-hmm.
If that
If
works for
if that works for them.
Prestonsburg, though.
If
That's
that
what-
work- whatever
that's
works.
what-
It doesn't, it's not going to conflict
We're
that
not
much
married
with
to
cruise
anything.
in.
It's
anyway.
not going to,
No,
okay,
Okay.
I don't think they're going to float their cars.
they might.
No, it's really two different kinds of
Yeah,
boats.
yeah.
That's true.
Just see which one works best for them.
With
Yeah.
them.
Because we'll also be doing, if we do the jamming in the park, we'll do that one of the nights.
And, Dawn had a great idea about pedal and paddle.
Yeah, that's what they did that's what we called it this time was the
Right.
Paddle Pedal Fest is what they marketed it as, so that possibly, for those people who didn't want to get on the water, they could bike it. And we posted the map, the route, on the website, the Facebook, for those who were interested. And I know Fran had texted me about how many miles it was and such, and I just told her to go on the map on our website. So there's interest there, and that
Well,
way
they
it meets the needs of both.
Actually talked about if the other ramp is finished, which it will be by
It
next
will be
spring.
definitely by spring.
Some people may just want to go 6 miles or whatever, 7
Right.
miles, just go to there and have drop
Well,
off
because
points in
18
both
miles
places.
is a lot of paddling for somebody.
And then some of them, I kidded them about going on to Louisa, and some of them are ready to do it.
Well, and I will
That's
say
30
that
some
Les
miles.
met, Mayor Stapleton met with the different mayors
Mhm.
from the area, from Lawrence County Pike. Bob was there, they were all there together, and they all want to collaboratively work together on doing
A regional
this,
concept.
a regional thing.
And
So,
Regina had told us that, they're gonna have to camp out if they come from Pikeville and come on down, but that, somewhere along the line, Fish and Wildlife built docks on private property, but the deal was that people could use them, if we could find places for them to camp out.
ideally, it would be down there at the airport. Would be a
Yeah.
good
one
place
there,
to do
then
so.
Yeah.
We're going
Just
to
a
look at
primitive site.
We're going to look at primitive sites where they get out here at Paintsville, because we've got the space and it's city owned.
Yeah.
And we've got access to water and sewage.
And I know Tony had discussed possibly using some of the signage and make it where it's the river trail, not just the Dawkins Trail,
Mhm.
so that we can incorporate that into the Trail Town certification, which then we're marking both trails, which will be beneficial. And let's see, what else is there? This is just basically some numbers from the online marketing of the Apple Festival, and I can push that around. But it basically pushed 597 clicks onto the Apple Festival. So I think that's pretty good just online alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very difficult because we had less than perfect weather to know if it truly helped or not.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
It's, yeah.
Because it was,
Yeah.
But nearly
Weather
600 people were reached that wouldn't have been otherwise.
Right. Yeah.
And exponentially, that could have been tremendous numbers.
Mm-hmm. And then when in September there was a competition, Lynette and I talked about it. It was for the Rails to Trails, and you could submit photographs for for your trail. So I submitted a couple of Dawkins line trails, and it was actually shown on Saturday, I think it was.
Maybe just
It was,
recently.
it was one of the last couple of days that, and I shared it. I think I
You
sent it
emailed
to
us,
you all.
yeah.
So they obviously picked up the picture that we sent, and maybe we'll end up being selected. But that's not been decided yet on the calendar that they print.
Cool.
Because the picture's quite beautiful, and Joanne Harvey's been very generous to allow us to use
She's awesome. She has such
all
a
of
good
her
eye.
pictures. She has a great eye,
Mhm.
and so I was excited to see that, and there was really good feedback from the people on Facebook about the trail, which is what we hope.
I noticed that there was over 2,000 people who had liked that picture of the Dawkins Trail, and everybody was commenting, "Well, where is this? I want to come."
Mm-hmm.
So
It is.
that's-
Okay. That's getting to be the best form of advertising there is Facebook.
Yep.
On everything.
Facebook has it out.
It's the right price too.
Yeah.
Free.
Well, all of it's free. You can push it because
So, and as Russell, and Lynette, we talked earlier, we're going to get together and brainstorm on what we can do to bring some different ideas and grow the mountain home place. And then I guess the only other question that I have is with the SIP, and where do we want to be with that? I know I got the call from Barbie, so I'm kind of going to have some guidance on that.
I think, didn't she call you about,
The banner and the posters
Right.
and how to proceed with that. So
yeah, well, they were putting up posters today, Larry Sparks was, so.
they were
Jennifer.
out. They were out
Mhm.
marketing it today in the area. Yes.
Had a couple of ladies who are teachers in the school systems that they would help with the mountain home place.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, two very
Don
dynamic.
McNew and,
Shauna Patton.
Sean Patton. They're dynamic, and they've got a lot of good ideas. Also, I need you all to look at that K-card stuff. There are all kinds of grants. I sent it out, and so you need to pursue that. Also, with the Growing Warriors, some of the ideas that they had for the farm, I think could
Yes.
generate.
Ideally, right now, we're going to have to find some funding to get the greenhouse. That's really imperative with the Growing Warriors is the greenhouse, and I think in the long run, it would benefit us, the community as a whole, because the flowers for spring could be grown, the seeds started, it could all
We've got
happen
the
right there
property,
within the.
there at the rec center, so it's. And how much was that?
Well, to get it all up on the ground and running was $10,000.
That's not when you're paying that much.
And that will also work with their
Mhm.
agriculture with the Trail Town certification, which is something that
What is the
is new.
what's the budgets look like to get all the landscaping and flowers that we get? I mean, what kind of money's being spent annually for
It
that?
used to be 20,000 for the flower baskets. Went down to 13 this year.
But 10,000 could get us in the greenhouse and got one.
Well, and you have to think, I know that in the past, the garden
And plus
club
we do the garden
has
club 3,000.
given them money. Yeah, you all have given them money, and that was something that I discussed with the garden club, is because I'm a member of it, is that we should really all be buying our flowers from the same place, the same color schemes throughout.
We
and
tried that.
if
We did pretty good this
We
year with the
did,
garden club
we
and the city
did,
did.
but
coordinate.
if we all ordered from the same place right now, we said these are the colors, this is how many plants we're going to need, and we put that order in, and then come spring we have them. But in long-term goals should be as we grow everything here.
How long?
Prestonsburg grows
what's
theirs.
What's
Yeah.
the delay?
Prestonsburg grows theirs there. They also store their stuff there.
See, it's like my
and-
spikes. I'm going to ask because the bigger ones. I'd like to use Leslie's greenhouse to take these spikes out because they're really huge and they'll
Because
grow.
You've got Johnson Central with a big greenhouse.
Why don't you ask them if we can put our spikes in there?
Give them a list of things I would think to grow.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
kills two birds with one stone. You
It
know,
really
helps them.
does. Why reinvent the wheel if you've got it
Mhm.
there? What all projects do you know that they grow for?
Well, I know they grow tomatoes and
That they
you know,
sell for
seedlings
themselves,
and
right?
flowers.
Well, and that's, and
Mhm.
I don't know this to be complete fact. I just was told that what they do is for them. They, you know, it's all.
No, they had a thing set up at Tractor Supply, I think this weekend, selling out the rest of the mums and things they had left.
So we would just pay them to grow what we would like for this, for the.
Yeah, I don't see, you know.
And
they
you know,
was
Stephanie,
entertaining
maybe we could
idea.
incorporate that in the educational component of the Dawkins Trail certification.
Sure,
There's an
why
educational
not?
component in there.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we could, why don't we meet, can you get us an appointment, you and Stephanie, and whoever wants to go?
I'd
And
love to.
we can
Make the
kill
proposal.
two birds,
Mhm.
educational, and then if we can pay them to grow for our flower baskets and our boxes downtown and the garden club.
Well, because I mean, I'm only a member. I'm not the president of the garden club, but
Right.
I think as you can see within in town, you know, Donna and Gary. Donna is of very poor health, and they just don't have they don't have the health to go take care of the gardens as they have in the past, and no one has really stepped up to take the presidency. And when you take that presidency, you've got to make sure people are showing up to work. And in years past, Donna and Gary have done the majority of the work themselves.
I know.
And you know, as I told them, there's gonna come a time where it's going to have to go back to either the city. I just don't see how it's going to continue because there's not anybody young.
It's
I'm
that
the
way with
youngest
everything.
person in there,
And that's why it's so important for us to keep pushing these new
well, we
projects.
should be
to keep
engaging
getting
Boy
young
Scouts,
people
children,
Girl
Girl
Scouts,
Scouts,
all
yeah.
of those.
See,
young,
we do the Girl Scouts at the Stafford House, and you know it's imperative because if the children are interested, the
well, you're
parents will
planting
help.
the seeds
Right.
in the youth of how
Right.
important it is to grow the gardens and table.
Yes, that's why it's just so important to keep these programs that are geared toward the kids going and developing new ideas, more ideas, all the time. Because we're getting old.
Is there,
I'm a
Okay,
sponge.
Bonnie, just I'm getting old.
is there anything
I'm
else?
66.
Is there anything else?
No.
Bob, I notice you're here. You just observing and getting dinner.
work today.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Not wanting to
Jerry, you can make that.
Before we adjourn, since we're not going into executive session,
Mhm.
if someone could make a motion to strike that item
Oh.
from the agenda,
What?
I thought we were, didn't you? Oh, no.
or
I
I
didn't
didn't
even
know
know
of
we
anything.
weren't, so.
I told him we just had it
I'll
up
make a
there.
motion to strike it.
Okay, second.
Thank you. That's what our attorney's for.
That's right. Thank you so much, baby. Keep us in line.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Uh,
Now go back to the motion for adjournment.
Second.
Adjourned.
I gotta get my eye in there.
You gotta get your eye.